If you aren't already acknowledging yourself for all the hard work that you are currently doing, then please take this compliment. You, my friend, are doing your very best, and your best is good enough. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Up It and the Actionables podcast. If you're meeting for the first time, welcome to this channel. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. That way you can get notified every time we bring you a weekly episode. You don't require to do anything to impress someone, and you certainly don't need validation from anyone. Now, with that said, what I'm going to say next may throw you off a little. And here it is. Even though you're doing your very best and your best is good enough, but if you want to improve the results that you're getting in life, whatever shape, form that you want them to be in, then it doesn't hurt to be better. And let me quickly explain what I mean by that. There is always room for improvement. So by the same logic, if you want to experience better things, if you want to get better results in life, it makes sense to get better. And that means to be better in your current efforts. Striving to be better does not mean that you aren't good enough. In fact, this can be a solid foundation to start getting even better. Knowing and acknowledging that you are good enough as is right now, and you're choosing to amplify your experience and to get better results is a powerful and a wonderful place to start improving your current efforts. I want you to entertain this thought. What if you could be better than you are right now? Better in your health, in your mind, in your relationships, not just with others, but even with yourself. What if you could be a more energetic, loving, and compassionate human being? How different would your life be? Imagine if you could become the best version of yourself. How wonderfully different your life could be. Well, I know, as a concept, this sounds great, but if you're sitting there and wondering, but how do I practically apply this in my life? What does it even mean to be your best version when you feel like you're giving it your best efforts already to just get through the day and to do what's necessary just for survival? If you feel this way, I assure you I can completely relate, because just like you, I feel stressed out, I feel rushed, I feel pressed on deadlines, and I definitely worry about things like income and resources. So among all these essential survival necessities, if you're wondering where do you even start to being your best version of yourself when you already have so much to do, and if it sounds impossible, I completely feel you. So first, let's talk about what does it even mean to be your best version and what does it require you to do. First off, you don't need to be doing something additional or something extra during the day to become this higher and better version of yourself. And second, it does not require more time or effort to become better. All it requires is to be more mindful about the things that you are currently already doing during the day. So for example, if you're feeling stressed out about money matters, instead of snapping on a loved one, you could choose to sit them down and have a more loving conversation with them. Or you find yourself comparing your progress with someone else's, you could choose to make a better action plan. Before getting into how to become this best version of yourself, here's why you should even consider this. Let's say you want to buy a TV. You wouldn't go and buy yourself an old broken down TV, right? Similarly, if you could go through life being healthier, more energetic, and more importantly, a happier human being, why wouldn't you do that? And second, when you're a healthier, happier, and more loving human being, you first benefit from it, and then your loved ones benefit from it. You become a blessing to everybody in your life. And God knows that we all can be a lot more loving and a lot more giving. And now that we have spoken about the importance of being this better version of yourself, let's get into some of the ways to make this practical. In my experience, being your best version at any given point in time has a lot to do with two superpowers that you already possess. The first one is choice. Recognizing that you have a choice is a superpower indeed. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't want to admit that they have this gift of choice, because if they do, that would mean that they can't go ahead and blame someone else for the results that they're not getting in their life. It is so much better to realize and to acknowledge that you have a choice in the things that you do and even in the way that you do those things. And that would mean that you have a lot more control over the things in your life. And the second superpower is intention. When you realize that you have a choice in almost everything that you do and how you do it, and you couple that with your power of intention, you end up creating a better and a wonderful life for yourself. The power of intention is so underrated, and that happens because it is such a simple thing to do. Before you do anything, you may want to consider what intention you are applying behind your actions. By just using the power of choice as well as the power of intention, you make the whole process of creating the things that you want to create and the results that you want to get a lot more simpler and avoid unnecessary stress and complications. Like I said earlier, to become this better version of yourself, you don't need to be doing something additional. All it requires is for you to become more mindful about the things that you are already doing. And in the end, I want to say that the worst mistake that you can make while growing into this better version of yourself is to compare your journey with someone else's, or to compare your version of better with someone else's, because your better and best version will look definitely different than someone else's version. So there is no point in comparing your journey with someone else's. And the acid test to make sure that you are happy with your progress is to dial down at the end of each day and to ask yourself how you feel with the progress that you're making. That is one surefire way to make sure that you are doing your very best. And as cliche as it may sound, at the end of the day, if you feel less stressed and more content and more peaceful with yourself, then that's all that matters. Alternatively, if you feel more stressed out, more anxious, that is an indication that you may want to slow down and take a hard look at what you're doing and even how you're doing those things in life. And that brings us to the end of this episode. If you liked it, let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to hear from you guys. And don't forget, what you want matters, and it's really up to you to make it happen. I'll see you in the next episode. See ya.